So they'll be calling you a radical. The winds of change blew down the goalposts here at the Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart Stadium, the only football stadium in the country named after a woman. So, TARON Johnson, this is important for the people of Ogden, so this story is told. People need to know this, and there can't be better timing. Where's your can? Rock on, gold dust woman. The Betsy Devos at go ahead and dig your grave. Rulers make bad lovers. You better put your fucking kingdom up for sale. There's a new kid in town. The spy who loved me's got a new boyfriend. So, this is important. Ogden Johnson, I used to call him. So, that's the signal right there. What's left of it. So, this is state, Weber State, Weber State, Weber State. The most corrupt football program in the United States, bar none. I was heavily involved with this freaking nightmare for years. It's important this story's told because we're getting a lot of publicity, and rightfully so, the play of the century. TARON Johnson. Never forget this name. Jamie Martin's probably the number 100th best player that ever played on this field. The name is not Kevin, TREVYN SMITH. The all-time leading rusher in this 100-year history of this program. On the 4th of July, 2019, he had a stroke 3 or 4 years after. He played for McBride here. Dirty, corrupt, sex for grades, bleeding 25 million. Just a nightmare football program. Oh, I know. I'll get into that. So, he has a stroke right after he plays here at Weber State. He's a native Utah. He becomes homeless. He becomes distraught. Weber State will do nothing for him. The NCAA, now I want you to think about this. Professional football, that's what the NCAA D1 football is. Professional football. Think about, you have a professional football league and you don't have to pay any of the employees. None of the employees, not the coaches, not the players. The state taxpayer will handle that, and the players. Think about that freaking NCAA freaking crookery. Where's your crown? He's picked up at the homeless shelter on some ridiculous old bull and the cops beat him to death in a jail cell. By the way, Black Lives Matters, which is really with the Million Mass March, which was really the poster, was started on this campus by Kevin Blanche. That's an unarguable fact. Unarguable fact. While TARON Johnson, before TARON Johnson played here, it was based on the death of Danielle Willard, Matthew Stewart. It was no-knock warrant shootout where cops were killed, the whole 9 yard. Yeah, related to there. Spelled a little, no, it's the same. The winds of change. Let's get out of the wind so we can get this tale told. It is cold before. By the way, don't park in the Weber State parking lot, because the Board of Regents also sold that to build a hotel. It belongs to the state illegally. The Board of Regents is so corrupt here, it's outrageous. I used to manage their endowment here. They inherited, they built the reactors at Fukushima, Japan. This is Utah Construction. That's her money. She left in 1975 $700 million. By the way, they're fantastic family. They're heirs. Don't blame them. But that's how this place came to be. The new crime syndicate. I used to call when they play Cal Poly, I used to call it the Diablo Canyon Bowl. When they played where he's from, I got my USFL. Went out spring football here. The Oakland Invaders hat on. Where's your crown, Trump? Where's your crown? All Trump flags are half-mast. How about that Weber State player going the distance, huh? How about TARON Johnson?
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that was crazy. That's a big time play.
So, yeah, so Weber State's got some good attention finally.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, right?
I'm on the map, yeah, exactly.
Spring football. So, you too. So I used to do the play-by-play. Now this is important so the people of Utah know this, what happened. The iconic thumbprint of Ogden, Utah is 88.1 The Beat, the most famous radio station probably in the state of Utah. I mean, when I went to school here in the early 80s, look, the best record collection you ever seen, the #1 FM station there ever was. I mean, powerhouse. It's the most iconic thing in all of Ogden over the last 50 years. So they do play-by-play, so they've always had problems. Every time they get in trouble, whatever, they always come back to me. I've been involved with the basketball program. Let me show you this. This is important. That's the old Swenson gym. Dick Motta coached in there. I went to games in there. The great Willie Sojourner played. That's who named Dr. J, Dr. J. Motta coached there. Phil Johnson coached there. Gene Vischer coached there. NBA legends. I mean, this legendary basketball program. The radio station was every bit as big of it. So they're having problems. Lillard's here. When they first recruited Lillard, I told Randy, where the hell you find him? On Oakland Invader, I says, you got an NBA player on your hands. You think, Kev? Yeah. I mean, I'm like, whoa. I remember shaking his hand. I'm like, whoa. Where did you find this one? Wow. By the way, his cousin, Randy says, was better than him, talent, but didn't have the work ethic. I'm like, who has that work ethic? He's a freak. So, I used to throw the ball to him when he broke his ankle, but I would always do the play-by-play for them basketball and football. But the football team was the most corrupt football team in the United States, bar none. Sex for Gray. A guy named Jody Sears, worst coach. So here I'm doing the play-by-play. Through those years, it was a nightmare. So Bruce Hanley, who was the head of the finance department at Weber State University, that I graduated on, that I was a student professor at, #1 finance program in the United States, bar none, in the country. They promised me the first MBA to save their program because Dr. Cooley got mad cow and died. The infamous. I have the last letter of resignation. It's in the Stewart Library, the same library Mark Hoffman, the same library that Wolfgang Gossett, that's D.B. Cooper, the same bay that Fama K. Brody down there. Well, not the exact one. They moved it up here. Mark Hoffman had a key to special collections. You know, the salamander, Fama K. Brody. I mean, I'm going on and on and on and on and on. Melvin Dumar forged Howard Hughes' will in there. I mean, the infamy, the infamous. I mean, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's Weber State. What a university. Blackball me. So, I get cancer. As you know, in 2011, I'm going, Fukushima's going to kill you. On this campus, one of the videos, there's Damien walking right behind me when I'm going on a rant. Fukushima, they're lying. These are the people that built the reactors. They're liars. The Mach 1, Mach 2, Utah Construction built them. They cheated. You know, blah, 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 blah. USS Reagan on chemo. So, literally. Do the game. So, Manny comes in, saves. I get leukemia. I'm in the bone marrow transplant. I'm going to die. They could have paid for my bill. I had 30,000 shares of Tesla stock. I taught finance here. Blah, 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 blah. They blackballed me. They sold off the school business to Warren Buffett and R.C. Willys, and they turned it into supply chain oligarchy. And you can look it up. The woman that runs my old program says, don't go see the doll on. #1 school business in the United States. When I taught there, when Bruce Hanley was a legendary football player. They're the Sharks boys, it's named after him. Bruce and crew. He could have played in the NFL, but he got more money. He went to Colorado and got a PhD and came back and ran the school finance. He got mad. His brain started to go. He died. I spoke at his wake just recently, and he donated his brain to the foundation that studies brain injuries for the NCAA. I'm so glad that he did that. Of course, they blackballed me. That's another whole story. So, Manny, while I'm in the bone marrow transplant, I get rumor they're selling the signal. I'm like, they can't sell the fucking signal. It's State University. Are they out of their fucking mind? This is Ogden as it gets. God, it's cold. Where's your gloves? Get your fucking gloves on. So, I'm dying. I come out. I can barely walk. Randy Ray used to help me into the arena to watch Damien play, you know, and I'd sit there with Eddie Tillman and crew, the old legends of which I've sat in the same seat since it opened in '75, which I watched Stevie Nicks snorting cocaine. Rock on, gold dust woman. Betsy Davos, you better put your kingdom up for sale. There's a new kid in town. I don't want to hear Trump spy who loved me's got a boyfriend. Rulers make bad lovers. You better put your kingdom up for... Stevie's a Utah girl. So, 75, they build it. We used to have concerts. It was a gym. Ogden, Utah was a gym. We still had 88.1 the beat. So I get word they've sold it. I'm having a fit. I'm full of cancer. I'm sucked up. I'm dying. Doing all this historic work on this campus. I've been blackballed. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I watched Damian. By the way, the unstoppable Damian Lillard at Weber State, some idiot put up a video. I says, oh, really? Unstoppable. Go tell that to Ron Cherry. Tell that to Anthony Johnson. I did the play-by-play that night. That was exactly 1 year to the moment that Fukushima happened. Yeah, March 10th, 2010. Up by 20 points at halftime. Damian never played in a tournament. How are you up by 20 points at halftime and lose? Because Anthony Johnson couldn't be stopped. He never missed a free throw, never missed a field goal. I'm doing the play-by-play of that game for 88.1 the beat. Before they sold the signal. It's the freakiest thing I've ever seen. I'll never forget. Lillard over there looking, you know, trying to kill the clock. And he never did it before. He never did it after. He was asked after the game, well, what happened? He says, I had an out-of-body experience. And I says, well, I can believe it because that's hallowed sacred ground. I've been on that ground since my whole life, since I was a little boy. Same with this beautiful stadium as the sun sets over the gone dry great solid. And we got a drought from hell going on, by the way. No snow. Haven't been since post-Fukushima. So, for every one TARON Johnson, there are thousands of TREVYN Smiths. TREVYN Smith, this school do anything? So, Jay Hill rolls into town. The NCAA comes in and investigates again for the umpteenth time. So I'm standing next to Bruce Hanley. I believe it was 94. I'm a student professor at the School of Business. I work for Dr. Cooley's, actually, who I work for. So Bruce Hanley is interviewed. Ex-football player, dean of the finance department of the #1 school of finance in the United States, beat Harvard, beat Wharton. We used to beat Wharton all the time. Wharton was our sister. Yeah, that's Trump school. We were Hamiltonians. What is the chance of you turning this corrupt football program, cleaning it up, getting profit? They're bleeding $25 million a year. Bruce Hanley, I'm standing right next to him when Sports Illustrated did the interview. He says, a snowball's chance in hell. And I'm like, it was voted to kill it. Hanley voted to kill it. The Stewart family and some other philanthropists stepped up. They wanted to put a purple field here, by the way, like the red one, and it's in Eastern Washington. Oh, look at this. Let him fuck with me. By the way, the D-Event Center, they will ticket you. So I'll have him hold the camera. So it's an empty parking lot. And there's nobody on this campus. They're still ticketing. Perfect timing. This is how corrupt this place is. I sued him. I won. State parking. They booted my car when I was a professor. So I used to do the play-by-play right there. I used to call him Gone Johnson. So my little grandson, I was sick. I used to watch my little grandson. So you're trying to do the play-by-play right there. We're going digital. Manny's running the thing, saving the whole thing. And he beautifully switched this to amazingly how he took it over digitally and he saved it. But he finally bolted on us. But Kevin, you got to do it. I can't do it. I'm sick. Just do it. So I do it. I remember the main game when they were the favorites. They put us in the end zone. I couldn't feel my feet for 2 days. Perfect metaphor. Goal post blown down. So Jay Hill rolls into town. I'm like, Jay, do you know what you're getting into? Snowball's chance. And this is the most corrupt fucking program, the losingest program. Jody said they hadn't won a home game in years when TARON was here. I don't think they won a game. I used to do the play-by-play. So my little grandson, he's born the same month as Fukushima one day. He gets out of my arms. I'm right up there in the thing doing the play-by-play. And I'm like, get over here. He gets all the way down that little wildcat. I don't know how he gets through the gate. He's on the track while they're playing, while TARON's on the field. And so the cheerleaders ain't God save. I think one of the football players picked him up. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, this is the juggling act that I've been up against. So, where's your cameraman? Where's your producer? So, the cheerleaders would babysit him, literally, while they're cheering on the track. Here, let's go get him some popcorn. While I do the game. They were horrible. There was nobody in the they couldn't win a game to save their... And In fact, when Lillard was playing here, by the way, Lillard knows TARON Smith. So you think about the dichotomy of the football basketball. For every one Damian Lillard, there are thousands of TREVYN Smith. Where's the fucking, and fuck the NCAA. And I used to say it. I says, okay, you sold our signal off illegally, Carlson Clan, crooks. I've gone at them. I want to sue them. This belongs to this freaking Ogden. This belongs to the community. This 88.1 The Beat. This famous. Okay, you want to play that game? Guess what? We don't have to watch our language anymore. We're digital. Been ruled by the Supreme Court that it's literature. I can say fuck. And so I would. Doing the play-by-play, I would say a lot of stuff. I'd say, fuck the NCAA. Legal, legal, legal. Oh, they didn't like that. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you like. You know, we're at the beat. And so, TARON makes that play. The Music City Miracles, the night they loaded him in the body bag, I held the hand. He was from here, Dyson. He played at the U. Zach Moss played at the U. That's a professional football player that they don't play in the plays. That's what D1 football is. What a joke, that freaking, you know, the racist school. Marty, coaching way to uses the N-word. Here, Jay Hill and crew, what they've done is legendary. TARON, ask him, Johnson, the snowball's chance in hell. They go from the worst team. He's on that worst team. They couldn't win a fucking game. They won the championship when he was a senior. They lost on that heartbreak bad call, pushing the back on that block fucking kick. They ran back for a touchdown, or they probably would have won it. You know, so see if I can pick this up. It is cold, no snow. This needs to be said. This is important. Rock on, gold dust woman. That's for Trump's Spy Who Loved Me. All the flags here are going to be at half-mast, the Trump flags. And so, you better put your kingdom up for sale. The can was invented here in Ogden. Yeah, her family. She's the D's. D Hospital, D Event Center, freaking shot D. She's the heir. Utah Construction. Chalk River, Dana. Chalk River, yeah, they built it. They built all the nuclear industry crime syndicate up. They merged with G in 75, made, she left $700 million. By the way, her heirs, they're fantastic people. You know, of course, they don't like me. Nobody around. Well, there's a few people who like me around here. But you better put your king to Trump's wife, I guess, the Spy Who Loved Me. Octopussy Pussy Galore, the Bad James Bond movie. I guess she's got a new lover. Trump's going crazy. He found out there's a new kid in town. I don't want to hear it. There's a new kid in town. Where's your crown, Trump? I saw Metallica on the football field right there in the day. There's a mosh pit now on an afternoon. Everybody, oh, you can't do that around here. Out of my way. Trump, where's your crown? To all you NCAAers, the NCAA, the Professional Football League, where's your crown? Where's your crown? Where's your crown? When your crown, there's a picture of TARON Johnson holding my grandson right there. And I got to dig it out. I'll find it. I always knew how good he was. What Jay Hill's been able to do here, this turnaround here, it just proves that we can turn things around. It's incredible. Of course, they have a Josh Davis. He's from Springville. He knew TREVYN Smith. Played the same you know, the whole dynamic. They got about 10, 15 players going to play in the NFL that are on this team this year. The Waters curse. You know, let's get some spring football. And, you know, they sold off our signal illegally. The most iconic radio station in the state of Utah. 88.1 The Beat. Why? I'll tell you why, because we took it all on. Because they've infiltrated our university. The board of directors, these ideologue freaking false prophets. I mean, they take illegally. It's illegal. It's illegal. By the way, pay these players. Pay these players. Fuck the NCAA. Fuck the. I still say, fuck the NCAA. Never forget. Forever Damian Lillard. Forever TARON Johnson. There are thousands. TREVYN Smith. And never forget this. Black Lives Matter, which drew Trump out of the White House was the Million Mask March. It was started in the Stewart Library by Kevin D. Blanche. That's a fact. The Post-Ignorance Project was called. Preoccupied. That's what this all turned into. You're looking at it. It's a fact, Jack. A snowball's chance in hell. I was given 2 months to live. Went in the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. By the way, the golf course used to be right there. He died of AML the same time I did. The African American Studies, the famous one, he died of AML leukemia. He got it the same time I did. You know, right here, so much. One of the great players that played with TREVYN, I'm trying to think his name, is Chicago. He got brain cancer. The first lawsuit, the kid that transferred to the University of Northwestern, the first lawsuit ever, his name's Pew, I bet, not Jethro. Oh, what a player. He sued the NCAA. He played here. How about the punt? You remember the punt? I remember calling at Michigan at the end of the game. Remember the punt? And he goes like that here. He punted here first. That Viking head coach, he coached here. Price, remember when he got caught with the hookers? He coached here. I won't stop there. You got Jamie Martin. He's like the 100th best player here. You've got the likes of Lee White played here. Oh, he just has a Super Bowl ring, 69 Jets. How about Scott Shields? He played here. I won't stop. How about Wildcat Morris? Oh, he's a local from my town. He played here. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. They don't even know their own history. Jay's learning. You know, Jay's the man. There'll be 15 players off this program. Don't you dare leave us. I can't wait for spring football. I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun. And we'll do a TARON Johnson. But think about this. You know who Watt McCoskey is? He's Weber State. Watt McCoskey is Weber State. The first player of color in the NBA, Damian Lillard. Yeah, that 5'7" jumper. Played at Ogden High School, that Art Deco decay freaking masterpiece. On the same team as Arnie Farron? Who's that? No. 88.1 the beat. They sold it illegally. How do you blackball and fire me? I did the play-by-play on the Lillard's alumni game. Our last stand, Manny had it. Manny couldn't do it anymore. He says, I'm sick of doing it. Fuck him. I'm bolted. He's out of here. I said, we're done if you leave. If you leave, we're done. I was right. How do you fire somebody on a non-paying job? So, I'm doing Lillard's alumni game. And he promised to do an interview with us. And of course, he's got to protect his brand. He's a billionaire. By the way, Brewers billionaires. How about the owner of his team? Pa Allen. Oh, yeah, that creep. Yeah, he was an Epsteiner. He died of this. So, I'm like, they have a three-point shooting contest. All these legendary players. Harold Arsenault, the show, was here. Oh, God. I was with the Bagelin in 95 when Ruben Nemhart missed that front end. I mean, Joe Bass told Ruben, I was standing right there. He's the trainer, the legendary trainer. A lot of legendary trainers have come out of this program, including Kobe's. That shot just cost you several $1 million. You know, they beat Iverson. They had him beat to go through. You know, how about up in Seattle when they had him beat? They had Florida beat after they upset North Carolina. You know, so everybody's here at the alumni game. This legendary player, David Pat. Oh, what a player. I mean, I can go on and on and on. All these great, fantastic players. By the way, when Randy goes, the new coach, I vote for Jimmy DeGrafferty to be the coach. Well, I got great stories. I was a student professor, #1 school of business when he played here on that 95 team. We had the hardest test in that entire elite program. I told him, you don't need to take these tests. You've been back there playing, you know, when they beat Sean Respert in Michigan State, and then they lost that heartbreaker on a Sunday when Ruben missed the front end of that 1-on-1 to beat Iverson in Georgetown. They had that game won. I says, you don't have to take the test today. The day they got back was that Monday. He's like, I'm okay. When did you have time to study? I studied on Saturday between the two games. Okay. You know, I'm working for Dr. Cooley, Dr. Hanley, as a student professor. He got the class high. He's the greatest. So the alumni tournament, they're shooting. I'm like, Damien. They got a three. It's Damien's tournament. And they're shooting. Nobody can make a, you know, you got to make a three-pointer, and then you got to make a thing. And so Lillard I'm like, go show him how, Damon. Go show him how, Damon. He's sitting right there. He walks up, high-fives me. He walks out. First shot. And it's off. That video should have thousands of views. I mean, hundreds of thousands of views. Nothing but net. I'm like, whoa. The Kobe game. I did it before. I was doing a thing for this radio thing before the Kobe Bryant death game. The memorial. I said, look out. Lillard will go crazy. Because he never got to play in the tournament. You put him on the big show, look out. He's all that. He's all that. You know, I knew it when I watched him train. When he broke his foot. This is a great story. I'll leave it at this. I know this is long. This is important, historic for the people of Ogden. So, and I'm 8th generation here. I've been at this university. I shook Bobby Kennedy's hand here. How long must I sing this song? Was your crown? So, I'm here, 1968, March 29th, Bobby Kennedy. You got to shake his hand right here. 5-6 days before he gives that famous speech in Indianapolis. There's so many great stories for me to tell, and I will. I'll write a book. A Snowball's Chance in Hell. You know, maybe I'll leave it at that for another time. TARON Johnson, the play of the century. A Snowball's Chance in Hell. Buffalo. By the way, Andy Reid's wife, she went here for a while. She's a local girl. You know, the Mormon from BYU. I mean, go on and on and on and on and on and on. This legendary track. By the way, I was a track guy. I got stories about him. I got stories about a lot of these guys, you know. I run them against me and Ice Stone going at it. I was the half miler. Not here, but high school, junior high. So, Lillard, I gotta tell him. I'm doing the play-by-play. This is before I got cancer. By the way, the only people that ever showed me any respect when I had leukemia back on this campus was Randy Ray and that basketball team, so I'll always stick up for him. And by the way, Jerry Carty is, go with that left, Jerry. Best player that ever played here in college, Jerry Carty. Oh, yeah, get better. He's in the Czech Republic on the greatest team you never heard about, the 90s Bulls. So, I'm sitting with Frank Layden. Frank Layden used to like to come to a lot of these games after, you know, Phil Johnson did too. When Jerry Sloan's lover, Rulers Make Bad Lovers, who dumped all the stuff, I asked Johnson at Bagelin's wake recently. Coach Bagelin died, the best coach I ever coached here. The lover, I went to high school with her. What they did to Bobby Sloan, the Jazz can kiss my... And by the way, I know, you know, Donovan Mitchell also from New York. I rode on the plane here with him. So, don't feed the lion. So we're sitting there with Frank, and a scout comes watching him. This is when Damon's got the broken foot. He's shooting out of the chair every day in practice, training. He's going to play Jimmer. All they heard was Jimmer. He would have tore Jimmer up. People here didn't go to the games. They're all watching Jimmer on TV when I'm like, you got the best player you ever saw right here. And he was all that. And I'm like, there's a scout, and he sees Frank, and he comes up and he says, Frank, by the way, from Fort Greene, which I used to live, the Ladens. When the Ladens went, the Jazz went. Did Frank coach that team? With Stockton and Malone, that's who drafted Stockton Malone. He'd have 10 banners. I watched Stockton play all the way. We beat him by 30. So, what are you doing here? I'm looking at a player. This is a Utah Jazz scout. Well, who are you looking at? Oh, this player from Eastern Washington. Good player. And I looked right at him. I says, your NBA player's sitting right there in a booth. And Damon's sitting right there. He's sitting right there. The scout laughed. That's Frank Layden. You don't believe me? Who's fucking... This is how pathetic the fucking Layden... Even Frank says, they're pathetic. You do know that, Kevin. I says, oh, I know. So... They got a good team too, Weber this year, but there's no fans. Can't get in. And I told the athletic department, oh, you mean just like last year? Shh, you can't say that. So to TARON Johnson, God, what a play, huh? I've never been so fucking thrilled. I remember doing the play-by-play, doing the call last year. when they won that fucking game in the snowstorm. That was one wild fucking football game. When they beat Montana here, whoa, exciting. I can't wait for spring football. And to Jay Hill, I can't say enough about it. The turnaround here, it's legend. From the worst corrupt football program to a snowball to TARON Johnson picking, I mean, you can out-sprint him to the end zone? Not since a little Flutie. By the way, not since we had a Catholic in the White House has there been a championship football team on this week in the field. You know, and that was Bruce Handley and crew. And where's their names in the Ring of Honor? Until you put Thelma K. Brody a statue in front of the WEBER State Library, Dick Modern statue in front of the event center, TREVYN Smith's name up in that fucking thing, Kevin Blanch's fucking statue here. Fuck you, Board of Regents. Fuck you. Fuck the NCAA. You're gonna have to fucking have me as a thorn in your fucking side. And my books, fuck Dr. Burroughs himself. Fucking Dr. Lambrose is still alive. The Wildcat. I'm friends with the kid who's the mascot. We're close friends. You ever seen him tumble? 3-time fucking NCAA fucking champion. Hey. And all these guys have learned all this from me. They know you're gonna have to deal with me. You're gonna have to fucking deal with me. And if you don't like it, fuck you. I don't care. Out of my way, out of my day. One last thing too. Rulers make bad lovers. The devils, you better put your kingdom up for sale. Did she make you cry? Make you break down? Shatter your illusions of love? Is it over now? Do you know how to pick it? Trump, where's your fucking crown? Where's your fucking crown? You want to be monarchy in the ping pong table? I don't like sliding with Biden. I voted for Bernie. He's an anti-nuclear. A nuclear you who built this house. TARON Johnson? Play it the fuck. I always knew you had it in you. There's a lot of players here. Look out. What a fucking story. A snowball's chance in hell. Dr. Cooley, put a statue of him in front of the water school business and get rid of the Buffett. And this professor who said, don't go sit, fire, get her off this campus. You know, I was here before you got here. I'll be here when you leave. Play-by-play, 88.1, Kevin Blanch on the call. Don Johnson with the pick. What a fucking turnaround. I can't wait for spring football. Remember Husher Walker? And those Washington Generals were the favorites. Oh, they had that little Flutie too. They benched him. Remember Bum Phillips, kid? Benched him for a Big Johnson. And they would have fucking won. They almost won the Super Bowl, them Oilers or Titans, whatever they are. That's Kevin Dyson from here. He wanted to play here. That's his own words. Go ask him. He wanted to play at Weber. They wouldn't recruit him. So did the Vigil boys. Both Vigil boys. I'm friends with their family. You know, I love Mark. It's one of my favorite people. They wanted to play here. They wouldn't fucking recruit him. Oh, Jay recruits the local players now. They have a whole bunch of good local players on this fucking team, including the great Josh Davis. You know who did this, sold the fucking radio signal. I did the play-by-play when TARON played here, Johnson, and it's about time Weber State got some good pub. And as far as the football program, what Jay's done here, one more last time. Trump, where's your fucking crown? Where's your fucking crown? When you crown king, nothing. Snowball's chance.